In 1992, Hollywood bid farewell to one of its most iconic gunslingers. Chuck Connors left behind more than just a popular television series. He left a legacy full of hidden stories. From his covert involvement in Cold War diplomacy to scandalous affairs that almost destroyed his reputation, Connors lived a life as thrilling as any Western. Now, 3 decades after his passing, the real story comes to light. How a baseball player from Brooklyn became a hero in the Soviet Union, why all 3 of his marriages ended in controversy, and the dark truth he carried to his grave. Chuck Connors was born Kevin Joseph Aloysius Connors on April 10, 1921, in Brooklyn, New York. His parents, Alan and Marcella Connors, were hard-working Irish immigrants struggling to raise their family during the harsh years of the Great Depression. Chuck's father worked as a longshoreman while his mother took on various jobs to help make ends meet. Times were tough, but they instilled in Chuck a strong work ethic that stayed with him for life. He grew up in a blue-collar neighborhood, spending countless hours playing sports at the Bay Ridge Boys Club. Baseball was his passion, and he dreamed of one day playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. At age 14, his athletic abilities caught the attention of talent scouts, and he received an athletic scholarship to Adelphi Academy, a private high school in Brooklyn. It was a pivotal moment, and Chuck seized the opportunity. At Adelphi, he excelled in multiple sports: baseball, basketball, football, and track. As a baseball player, he was a formidable first baseman, and, in 1939, was recognized as one of Brooklyn's top high school players. Upon graduating, Connors received offers from over 25 colleges for athletic scholarships. He chose Seton Hall University in New Jersey, where he played both basketball and baseball. As a basketball player, he served as a backup center, known for his defensive skills. However, he truly shined on the baseball field. In a standout game, in 1942, he hit 2 home runs and drove in 6 runs, drawing the attention of professional scouts. It was during this time that Chuck earned his nickname. While playing first base, he would shout, "Chuck it to me," and the name stuck. His college years, however, were cut short by World War II. In 1942, he enlisted in the U.S. Army and trained at Fort Knox. Due to his stature and athleticism, he was selected to be a tank warfare instructor. Later, he worked at West Point, training soldiers and even coaching future national champion football players. Though he was serving in the military, Connors stayed close to sports, playing semi-pro baseball in Brooklyn during his free time. He also played professional basketball in the American Basketball League. After 3 years in the Army, he was honorably discharged in 1946. That same year, Connors joined the Boston Celtics during their inaugural season. At 6'5", he played as both a forward and a center, appearing in 49 games and averaging 4.5 points per game. His standout performance came on December 13, 1946, when he scored 15 points in a tight win over the Providence Steamrollers. But his basketball career was short-lived. In February 1947, he left the Celtics to pursue baseball full-time. On May 1, 1949, he finally got his big break with the Brooklyn Dodgers, but things didn't start well. In his only appearance for the team, he grounded into a double play, and the Dodgers lost. Refusing to give up, Connors worked hard in the minor leagues, playing for teams such as the Montreal Royals. By 1951, he made it back to the major leagues with the Chicago Cubs. That season, he played in 66 games and had several key moments. On July 18th, he hit his first major league home run against the New York Giants. Another followed on August 26th, also against the Giants. He ended the season with 48 hits and a .239 batting average, a respectable feat for someone who split time between 2 professional sports. Chuck Connors' path to Hollywood was anything but conventional. In 1952, while playing baseball for the minor league Los Angeles Angels, he hit a towering home run during a game against the Sacramento Solons. In the stands that day was Billy Gordon, a casting director for MGM. Impressed by Connor's athletic build and rugged good looks, Gordon approached him after the game and handed him a business card. "You should consider acting," he told him. Chuck brushed it off at first, still committed to his baseball career. But shortly after, he suffered a minor injury that gave him time to reconsider. Out of curiosity, he visited MGM. To his surprise, they immediately offered him a screen test. He agreed, and just 3 days later, he signed his first film contract. That decision changed the trajectory of his life forever. His first acting role came in Pat and Mike, a romantic comedy starring Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Though Chuck only played a police captain, it was a significant start. Nervous yet determined, he nailed his first scene in just 2 takes. Tracy later pulled him aside and said, "You've got something, stick with it." Those words gave Connors the confidence to commit fully to acting. Between 1952 and 1958, Connors appeared in over 20 films. One of his most memorable early roles was in Disney's Old Yeller, 1957, where he played Bern Sanderson. The film was a major success and boosted his profile. He also appeared in Trouble Along the Way with John Wayne and the Big Country, alongside Gregory Peck and Charlton Heston. At the same time, he made guest appearances in 18 television series, showing his versatility and tireless work ethic. All of this experience led to the role that would define his career, Lucas McCain in The Rifleman. But landing the role didn't happen easily. When producers saw his performance in Old Yeller, they knew he was right for the part. At first, Connors declined due to low pay. Determined to get him, the producers increased the offer and even gave him 5% ownership of the show. That convinced him to say yes. Connors trained rigorously for the role. He practiced horseback riding and learned to twirl and fire a rifle in a visually exciting way. With help from gun expert Rod Redwing, he perfected his iconic moves, despite suffering sore and blistered hands in the process. The Rifleman debuted on September 30, 1958, and was an instant hit, attracting over 14 million viewers for its first episode. The show's success wasn't just about action. It was grounded in the heartfelt relationship between Lucas and his son, Mark, played by Johnny Crawford. Their bond resonated with viewers, especially single fathers, many of whom wrote to Connors expressing gratitude. One widowed father wrote, "Your show gave me the courage to keep going." Behind the scenes, Connors had significant creative influence. By season 2, he was pitching story ideas and rewriting dialogue to make McCain sound more authentic. He wanted the character to be realistic, flawed, moral, and human. He co-wrote the 2-part series finale and helped cast guest stars, including Dennis Hopper and former baseball teammate Duke Snider. The Rifleman was a major success, ranking as the 4th highest-rated show in its debut season with 14.6 million households tuning in. It generated millions in merchandise sales and earned multiple Emmy nominations. Even decades later, reruns remained popular, particularly with older viewers. But the role of Lucas McCain became both a blessing and a curse. After the show ended in 1963, Connors struggled with typecasting. He turned down 8 Western pilots in 2 years, trying to escape the cowboy image. He starred in the 1964 comedy Move Over, Darling, hoping to change public perception, but the effort fell flat. Casting directors still saw him as McCain. In Arrest and Trial, 1963-1964, Connors played a defense attorney, showcasing his range in a polished role. Critics praised his performance, but the show was canceled after 1 season. He returned to Westerns in Branded, 1965, playing a disgraced cavalry officer seeking redemption. The show was well received and allowed Connors to portray a more layered character.